It's easy to do in a corset. But actually it kind of helped somehow, and in costume fittings we sort of kicked walls and lunged to make sure that we were able to do it.
Well, what sort of Elizabeth are we going to meet here? Because one of the biggest differences between the original book and Seth's reimagining is, well, besides the zombies, there's that. But there's zombies. But she's not as lighthearted. She's she's not as easy, not taking offense as easily in the original, and then we see she's much more badass, clearly, in this. So what sort of Elizabeth are we going to see on screen?
A fierce one. I kind of feel like within the relationship with her and Darcy, all that sort of inner conflict and all that sexual frustration and longing kind of comes out in decapitating zombies. And she's really good at it. In fact, being us 5 girls, the Bennett sisters, fighting together and destroying together was really, really fun.
I want to go to Jack because I noticed that we didn't see a lot of Mr. Wickham in that clip, which the reporter in me immediately thinks, is there some sort of twist? Is there something you guys are trying to obscure or hide here? What can you tell me, if anything?
I think Wickham's sort of shrouded in mystery, but it stays very true to the novel, which, but at the same time, there are a lot of new twists, which I don't think we can go into too much.
You don't have to wear a mask over half your face or anything, do you?
No.
Okay. Well, just making sure. All right, Sam, what about you? Because how much of a jerk is Darcy here that we're going to meet at first? Like, how did you calibrate? How did you calibrate the jerkiness? Because you have to bring them out in a way that is going to initially turn off Elizabeth a little bit, and maybe the audience a little bit at first as well, but also, still make him intriguing and redeemable.
What was the question? How did I manage to hide?
Yeah. How jerky did you make him here at the outset?
Well, he's just misunderstood, isn't he? But he's a snob and very proud, obviously. But I haven't seen it yet, so I'm hoping I'm not too much of a jerk.
Or we'll have to wait to find out, I guess. Bella, obviously, you get to fight zombies, and that's pretty awesome, and it's something that must have been fun to film. Did you have to go through any training or anything for these action scenes, or what?
No, I just winged it. No, I did a lot of training. I did about 4 months of Kung Fu, which was great, because I just channeled all my anxiety into that. And then we did about a month when I came out with all the sisters. We did more martial arts, a bit of choreography, weapons, all sorts of things. It was great.
Sounds fun. Douglas, you guys are in this bizarre situation of playing these well-known characters, but they're well-known characters from classical literature, but you're playing versions of already previously adapted characters. So do you go back and look at any of that various source materials, or you just sort of throw it all out?
No, I don't think previously filmed adaptations are necessarily useful, though I have seen a lot of them. But for me, it was about going back to the original book, and sort of just kind of figuring out and sort of knowing who I wanted it to be before I arrived on set, and then just my interactions with the other actors in the scenes day to day would create these characters. But I don't think you want to get too hung up on guys who've gone before. You just want to kind of do your own thing, and I think let a bit of yourself out as well.
Well, I mean, Matt, you obviously have some experience with passionate fan bases with Doctor Who. But, I mean, Jane Austen fans are pretty passionate, too, in their own right.
Not as passionate as Doctor Who fans.
Did you have friends and family, like, when you got this role, that were all excited you were in Pride and Prejudice, and you had to explain that this version was just, like, a wee bit different from what they might be thinking?
Well, the clue is in the title, Old Fruit, Pride, Prejudice and Zombies. No, yeah, look, I think it's a really fun film, and I think it's the sort of film that you could take your chick to. There's a great central love story in it, but then there's people's heads getting blown off. Zombies are exactly what Pride and Prejudice needed, I think, really. Woo!
Burr, were there any sequences from Seth's book that you were particularly excited to sort of translate to film? Like when you poured through the book, you said, I cannot wait.
Seth wrote a book? The first battle scene with the sisters in the ballroom, getting to stage of that, and getting to reveal who they were through the way that they fought. That was fun. That was great.
And Seth, were there any aspects of your book, once you realized this was going to be made into a feature film, that you were sort of really excited to see how that was going to look and, you know, bring your words to life here, and James as well?
I know this sounds like a cop-out, but I was just excited that it was finally getting made. We had some false starts along the way, but you know, I have to say, overall, having just seen a rough cut of the film recently, I think the thing that I'm the most excited about is that Burr clearly understands the tone of this absolutely stupid, ridiculous idea, and that the only way to really go at it is to do it without ever winking once at the audience. We were talking backstage a little bit, and every one of these actors, to a person, is brilliant in this, and every one of them is acting as earnestly as if they were in, you know, just a Pride and Prejudice movie. And I think that's why it works, is because the movie isn't, you know, going for the joke. It isn't winking at you. It's playing the most straight Pride and Prejudice, beautifully shot, elegantly costumed, wonderfully made and acted, and then zombies show up and you're like, what the fuck is going on?
So the threat feels real. The threat is not played for laughs. It's
played for real. And you're invested in the characters, and that's because of our great cast.
All right, I want to know from all of you, we'll start down, we'll go down the line, what would be your personal favorite weapon for fighting the sorry-stricken? It could be something you use in the film, or just anything you would like to use to fight off a horde of the undead. Lily, we'll start with you.
Oh, well, the fun thing was that we had like daggers hidden absolutely everywhere. I think I had them in my pants, and so I'd pick a dagger.
Good shout.
I had a samurai sword, but I'd probably rather have a machine gun.
Yeah.
They didn't exist. And muskets are pretty useless, because once you've fired that, then you have to ask the zombies to wait a second while you fix it up. But the samurai sword's pretty cool. That was a childhood fantasy fulfilled.
Well, I never got to do any fighting, really. I just ate things. So I'd bake a series of poisonous zombie muffins and lure them into my bakery and pretend that I'm going to give them treats. But actually, I'm going to poison them.
Another one about you.
A massive bomb. I mean, whatever the most destructive thing is, I want to eliminate them all as far away from me as possible. So I'd say a bomb would be my weapon of choice for some reason.
I have to outdo that now. A nuclear bomb.
Take everyone out.
You want to survive it, though.
No, I'm in the air, or on a boat.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We've got a
decided
great
we're
idea,
on a
actually,
ship
Jack.
in the ocean.
Roman Bramvich's yacht.
Bramvich's yacht in the ocean.
Yeah.
Happy.
Yeah, to escape, just me and Jack, and a select crew, so... Hang on, everyone's welcome.
In our movie, when zombies, when they first buy a human, you can't quite, if they cover it up, you can't quite tell, so they can live in society for a little bit. So there's a kind of, in our movie, there's a bit of a sense of paranoia, which you saw in the clip at the beginning when Dust comes in the house. So they can kind of come from anywhere, so maybe something that like Assassin's Creed has, you know, that thing, he shoots from here. So someone's just coming at me, I can kind of just get them, you know, wherever, so maybe that. Or a machine gun, or a bomb, or a nuclear bomb. Or be on a boat, whatever.
You went stealth for a second, then you just went the complete opposite direction.
I'd have it all. I'd be like, yeah.
All right, Burr, what about you?
What would I use to kill the zombies? Instead of nuclear bomb, yeah, them. I would use them to kill the zombies.
On the record, I don't think the nuclear bomb option is a good one. I don't think that's gonna...
Black water? I don't know, yeah.
Not in the late 17th century.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys are all forgetting, though, that the most dangerous weapon is the heart of a warrior.
Fucking
Particularly the female warriors in this film who were trained at Shaolin and not Kyoto, which is bullshit.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, the Bennett sisters are the deadliest of weapons.
Sisterhood.
All right, let me ask you guys this. Who among you up here would be the first to go in a real zombie apocalypse? Who's getting eaten first? You think you are?
We'd be neck and neck.
All right, what about among the cast? Who's getting eaten first?
Doug? We can't lose Doug.
Bingley, I mean.
Oh, really? Yeah, maybe.
Someone's gonna go.
I should probably go, really. I mean, I'm the most useful.
I'd save you, Matt. I'd save you.
Collins. Collins.
Yeah, Collins. Me.
Choose someone that's not here.
I'm taking the hit.
Take one for the team.
Yeah.
All right, fair enough. All right, look, I know you guys want to ask these guys a lot of questions, and so let's get to that. We have a line right there. Look at the spotlight, isn't that handy?
Whoa.
Do you have questions for the cast and the director and writer of Pride and Prejudice and Zombies? Now is the time, and we'll start right there with Wonder Woman. How's it going?
Hey, Wonder Woman.
Hi everybody. It looks like a fantastic movie, and this is really quick for Matt Smith. My daughter Cutting Up Indiola is your #1 fan. She was too scared to ask you this question. Do you in real life see yourself like in similarities to the character you play in this movie?
Do I?
Yes, you.
Oh, very good question. Well, I hope not. Because he keeps getting rejected. I've always had terribly good success with the ladies. No, I mean, not really. But he's quite kind, and he likes muffins. So, I like to think that I'm quite kind, and I do like muffins.
What's not to like? All right. Hey, how's it going?
Hello, I'm Svea, and I have a question for Matt Swift.
Matt Swift.
Matt Smith.
Matt with. Yeah, no, go on.
How has your transition been between filming TV, like Doctor Who, and transitioning to filming a movie, like Pride and Prejudice? Zombies is kind of the major, not really, but difference.
Well, you know what? It's all, there's just a camera there, and lots of nice actors, and I've been very fortunate to work with glorious people like this gang up here. So it's been rather nice. But I miss making Doctor Who because it's fun.
Thanks a lot. Hey, man, what's going on?
Hey, how's it going? I have a question for everyone. How does your character in the movie differ from the original one in the book?
Which book?
Oh, the original.
The original Pride and Prejudice?
Yeah.
Okay. So,
my bad, sorry about
it's okay. Lily, we'll want to start with you.
Fiercer. I mean, Liz Bennet is already an incredibly independent, free-thinking, strong young woman, but I think it's enhanced even more in this. She's really strong and really badass. Yeah!
Take that. Keep going down the line. Anyone else?
Well, what was so great about the script and about Seth's book is that they're not really changing the characters all that markedly, really. You know, it's still Mr. Darcy with his prejudices, his snobbery, but with a samurai sword and martial arts techniques. But essentially, it's Pride and Prejudice, but with a zombie plague apocalypse in the background. But people are still trying to keep up appearances, you know. The snobbery that's still innate in English society is still there, but just more gore.
When I wrote the book, what I was trying to do is pretty simple. Is you're not going to improve Jane Austen, especially not me. So my intent was take all of her characters, take all of her themes, and just turn them up to 11. And so the intention was, you know, Lizzie is strong in the book, and now she's like Lily said, she's a badass. It's for everyone. I think it's taking those character traits that are in the original novel and just playing them to a slightly ridiculous level at some points.
All right. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Thanks.
Some more questions?
Thank you.
Thanks. Oh, any other questions, guys? The question line is right over there to the right. While we're waiting for the people to line up, Matt, why don't you continue on just with your character, how you decide to sort of adapt Mr. Collins here. Did you take any other inspirations?
Oh, yeah, well actually the first meeting that I had with Burr, I was like, it'd be cool to do it if he was in love with Darcy, not anyone else. So, you know, see if you can see a little flavour of that in there. And I am a little.
Bella, what about you in playing Jane? Anything else?
I think she's, you know, she still wants to see the best in people, and I think she's still kind of has a quiet wisdom to her, and I think she still wants to be in love, or wants to find love, but I just feel like the sense of responsibility she has towards her family, towards her sisters is heightened because it's, you know, life or death.
And Jack, we talked a little bit about Mr. Wickham. Maybe some changes here, we don't know. What can you say?
It's quite hard with my character because maybe mine sort of the most, maybe more change than others. But it's essentially, like Sam was saying, the characters are all based on the book and haven't actually, who they are actually hasn't changed. So you're following that very closely, in a sense. It's sort of the Wickham you know, with my spin on it. But yeah.
Which was nice. Douglas?
Yeah, again, pretty much the same thing. I mean, what I loved about the script, that it was all the beats from Pride and Prejudice, all those characters stood up. They were the same. You really were invested in them. But it was just set amongst the most insane backdrop of zombie apocalypse. And how would they, you know, how would Mrs. Bennet try and marry off all her daughters while this was going on? How would Darcy try and live the way he lived? How would that happen? And yeah, it's just, the result is exciting and funny and different.
Well, Burr and Seth, how did you guys talk about it? I mean, we already have a book that's, you know, reimagining of another book. Now you're bringing it to the screen. How did you talk about changes from your book, Seth?
I just honestly, Burr came in with a vision of the movie and clearly understood what the intention was with the book and got, you know, like I said before, that the humor should never be forced or jokey, it should just be straight. And frankly, you know, I'm just here as an author. I didn't have anything to do with the film. It's Burr and it's the cast, and so I just completely trusted these lovely people, and I'm very happy I did.
We have a question right out there. Let's get to that right now. Hey, how's it going?
Good, except that you actually just stole my question. With working with two source materials, how do you do that? So we'll go with memorable moments while filming for the entire cast.
Okay. Why don't we go the opposite? Start with you, Douglas.
I think I was very fortunate. I've worked with Matt before, and I've known Lily for a while. So for me, it was just the whole experience. We had so much fun. I don't know if you can tell in that clip, but we just were having the best times of our lives. So yeah, I think Lily has quite a good one. Quite a good story about, which is so good that it'll be anything I have to say, but it's with a sort of an extra zombie extra lying on the floor.
You what?
The zombie, when you stamped.
I did stamp on an extra's head. I thought it was a dummy, but it was a real life person. And I stamped really hard. And it was a rehearsal, it wasn't even a real take. But he was fine.
Stayed in character.
He stayed in character, he didn't move.
He was out acting me, so I thought
He asked for your number too.
Yeah.
But he was fine, and it was a hazard because everywhere you looked there were these zombies dripping in blood, and fake ones, real ones, and I got off this horse really gallantly and trod on a poor man's head.
I think they gave him a little extra money.
He did.
Let's go in method. Okay, very good. Hey, how's your question?
Hi, I was wondering, we're thinking about zombies, but we also have a period piece. So for the actors, how did you prepare your characters to bring those together?
Interesting question. How do you just get, I mean, that's one thing that you have to get into when you get into period pieces, and Lily, obviously we talked about you've been doing different periods, is all of you having one aspect or another, but how did you have to get in the framework of that time period and the sort of classism of the time and stuff? Matt, we'll start with you.
Well, I mean, I think that's the challenge of a film like this is to tonally understand those two things and make them work together. And I don't know, as an actor, you sort of turn up, you get in the costume, and that doesn't work for you, weirdly enough. And I don't know, could be the future, could be the past. It's all the same in the end, isn't it? Like, but yeah, but I do think tonally, trying to balance those two ideas, the zombies and the period, is you know, what's going to make the film interesting ultimately.
I actually think that in history there used to be some massive plagues. You know, the Black Plague. There used to be lots of. Back then, it was more common for sort of things not like this, but to happen. You know, I don't see zombies or a zombie movie necessarily as science fiction. It's something that could happen. I mean, there's terrible illnesses going on all around the world, and you know, if a disease develops into a certain way where people start biting each other and infecting each other that way, I mean, yeah. So for me, I didn't have to like separate the history of it from that. I actually think that almost made it easier. They were more used to those sort of plagues back then.
Thanks. Hi.
This is really for Seth. Now that you've seen this film come to fruition, are you planning on taking any more step further? Any more films?
Sure. I mean, I'm not sure. Well, we'll see. I mean, you know, the cold light of day answer is we'll see how it does, and you know, if people are excited about another one. But no, I wouldn't be opposed to it at all. And can I just say something, just to take a minute, because I'll probably never get the chance to sit here in Hall H again. The fact that we are here in front of so many people in Hall H, where I used to stand in line for hours to get into this hall for years and years and years as a fan. And the fact that a movie called Pride and Prejudice and Zombies that had probably a 10th of the budget of the movies that you guys have been watching all day, and in the world where, and I love superhero movies too, and I'm a fan, but the fact that this movie is up here is it's a testament to the people that found the book and loved the book and promoted the book, and the people who believed in the book and made the movie. And I just want to thank everybody, because it's surreal to be here, and it's amazing. So thank you for.
Yes, Miss.
Hi, I'm such a big fan, and great cast. You guys are all wonderful. My question is for Seth. In the book, it's left up to the reader's imagination to what happens to Mr. Collins and Charlotte Lucas. Will we get a visual as to kind of what is to come in the film?
Without giving too much away, I will say that is one of the small differences, and I think, you know, just know that the people who deserve their comeuppance in the movie probably get it, but perhaps in different ways. So, you know, for instance, there was also, I think, it's been a while since I read the book, but I also, like, had someone become incontinent at the end. That was maybe a step too far. So I think that they improved the book in very material ways by not playing to some of my baser, stupider humor.
Thanks a lot. Hello. What's up, Sherlock?
Hello. My question is for anyone who wants to answer. What's a favorite classic story of yours that you would like to see get the Pride and Prejudice and Zombies treatment? Maybe Cinderella?
Oh yeah, Cinderella 2 has got to have zombies in it.
Anyone want to pitch Seth here?
I've been thinking about a president who hunts vampires. Yeah. I don't think that movie would work out so well, though. No, stop. I didn't mean it like that.
If I could come up with something as quick on the spot like this, I'd probably be in your shoes and making loads of money right.
You know, I mean, what's fun is, like, I can walk into bookstores, one of my favorite things to do, and there's always, you know, George Washington, Werewolf Hunter, and Wuthering Frights, and, you know, I mean, there's no shortage of, please, feel free, take any of these, but no, I mean, I think to me the thing that was so specific about, and by the way, the idea initially to tackle Pride and Prejudice came from my editor of Quirk Books, Jason Herkulak. Yay, Jason. But it just, and we've talked about this too, and I think the cast can speak to this, it's just so weird how seamless it was when you just decided to add the zombie apocalypse to Pride and Prejudice. It was like it was written with something missing. Not that Jane Austen got anything wrong, I'm just saying that, like, in this one case, And I haven't found any other classic book that really, you know, was that inspirational, that seemed that seamless.
Yeah, I mean, one of the key things to this is in Pride and Prejudice, you have the Napoleonic Wars going on. They're never explained. You just have all these handsome soldiers sort of riding through. And as an American, we have no idea what's going on. So to take out the Napoleonic Wars and throw in the zombie pandemic, there was actually structurally a place to put it.
Okay, thanks.
You look remarkably like Ben, by the way. Like, you actually do.
Really do.
Yeah.
It's a good look, man. It's a good look. It's strong. Hey, what's up?
Hello. I had a question for the author. What do you think if Jane Austen read your book? What would her reaction be?
I've gotten this question, and first of all, I would say when I wrote the book, there were no expectations that anyone would read it, so we were all caught off guard that it became a success. But then once it became a success, I was happy, but I was also terrified, because the Janeites are legion, and they are, you know, wonderful, devoted fans, and I thought that they were going to burn me in effigy. However, I will say that I've been very pleasantly surprised that they are extraordinary, they all have extraordinary senses of humor, and the people who love this book most, Pride and Prejudice and Zombies, tend to be the ones who love Jane Austen, love Pride and Prejudice. Because as it turns out, Jane Austen herself wrote some sort of early Gothic fiction. She was interested in the macabre, and she was really, really funny. I mean, Jane Austen is an extraordinarily funny author. And so while we'll never know, I like to think that she would take it, you know, all in good stride. That or, you know, kill me. I'm not sure.
One of the two. And then step on your head probably when she was done. All right, that's going to do it for Pride and Prejudice and Zombies, guys. They got to run. I want to thank